And I will be honest with you, hands down, you guys have been my favorite so far. Thank you. Saying that to suck up, because as you can tell by the movie, I don't care about you at all. That's what I love about that picture, man. I like to sit in the back and watch it with everybody. That's why you go on the tour. You can't see that reaction on a fucking spreadsheet. It's nice to be in the room and watch the movie with people, because it's not a film as much as it's just a fucking parlor trick, right? That just keeps changing. And then it's like you think it's over, and you're like, I know where this trick's going. Here comes a rabbit. And then we pull a wolf out of that. You know, the wolf is fucking a midget. You're like, what? I know where it was going. I described it thusly. I said, Red State to me is kind of like a series of chairs where I'm like, sit down. And just as you go to sit down, I flip the chair upside down so you sit on the leg right up your ass. And you're like, ah! And I'm like, I'm sorry, man. I don't know what I was thinking. Here, take another seat. And you're like, all right. You go sit down and I flip it again. Jesus, he keeps doing it. Everything is designed to be uncomfortable. I'm not a great filmmaker, and I'm certainly no master of horror, but I know how to make people, I know how to creep people out, particularly chicks. So, I knew going into this, that's what I could do. I could unsettle from the jump. Everything about the movie is kind of designed to be unsettling. It begins very kind of familiarly in a way that it smells, looks like Kevin Smith film to some degree. There's talk of pussy. Nobody mentions Star Wars, but you expect it to come. And then we take that first turn. As soon as we hit that car, we go away. Kevin Smith movie goes away, and it becomes what I desperately wanted to make. I've made a Kevin Smith movie. This would be the 10th flick I've made. I've made a Kevin Smith movie 8 times. Cop out, doesn't count. And this is the 10th, and I've made a Kevin Smith movie 8 times, and I know if I leave this planet for fucking 5 years like Superman in that terrible movie, and return, as he did in that terrible movie, that I can make a Kevin Smith movie. It's in my genes, it's in my DNA. I can't help but make a Kevin Smith movie. But as I've been talking about, I'm heading out of the film game soon. This is my penultimate. Next one is my thesis film. And I figured if I'm heading out the door, I haven't really used all the opportunity to do shit that I wanted to do when I first got through the door. When I came in the room, I didn't want to just make comedy, I just wanted to make films, and I leaned toward comedy because I like making people laugh. But I just kept doing comedy, and I love that shit, and it was easy for me to do because it's in my wheelhouse. But sometimes you just want to do other movies, you know, and sometimes you just want to, like, let me see if I can pull it off. And I've always dreamed of pulling off a movie of people that I admire, the motherfuckers who I watch and go like, that's dazzling. So Red State isn't a Kevin Smith movie. Red State is a Kevin Smith movie that's kind of like Kevin Smith trying to do Quentin Tarantino by way of the Coen brothers. So for me, it's like right away, off the bat, like we kind of unnerve the audience because you're like, well, this doesn't feel like a Kevin Smith movie anymore. Then we keep changing it every step of the way. Subtle differences left and right that have just been so fucking much fun to me. You can tell I like the movie a lot. I've been doing this nearly 20 years, making films, and for me it was just awesome to do shit, play tricks on the audience. I'm always about ingratiating myself to the audience with the film and never hearing silence. And there's 20 minutes of blissful silence in this movie where you can hear a fucking pin drop. And to a guy who makes comedy that's deaf, but I'm in the back just eating it up because, like, oh, Michael Parks owns their dicks right now. And so, like, there's stuff like that, but little tricks everywhere along the way. There's no score in the movie whatsoever. You know, I don't know if you noticed that, but there's some rhythmic percussion at one point in terms of, like, we use the generator noise of the basement of the subterranean church to kind of give it like a intense sound effect, but there's no score. There's some needle drop in the movie. You hear music in a car, you know, when the boys are driving, and you hear a little bit of music in the police station when the sheriff is talking to his deputy, and of course Michael Parks sings quite a bit in the movie, so much so that we all fell in love with his voice. Dude sang once, and I was like, that's amazing. People kept coming up for the next few days on set going, are you gonna leave that whole song in the movie? Because that was really beautiful. And I'm like, really? Like, he's singing, you know who he's playing. They're like, I know, but it was a pretty song. And he's got a good voice, so I kept going to Parks, like every other scene. I was just like, and we finished this scene, and at the end of it, you sing another song. And he's like, another song? I was like, yeah, some church hymnal, man, pull one of them churchy tunes, do that. He's like, okay. And then I did it to him a third time. I was like, you come out of this room, and then you're dancing and singing this song. Is this a fucking Elvis picture? no score. You hear Parks singing, but we strip it out because for me, I'm a filmmaker. I've done it before. I know what score is used for. It's used to communicate what I want you to feel. And this, I didn't want to do that. This, I just wanted to let you sit there and stew in how you feel. Because a score is designed to like tell you when things are cool, when things are about to get intense, when things are about to get sexy and shit. Like in the beginning, it's just like, this is the score. As you eat your popcorn, here come the credits. Look, Brad Pitt. Very simple, subtle. And then as it gets more intense, like, wait a second, Brad, who's behind that door? There's a motherfucker with a knife. Run, run! You know, the score tells you how to feel. And I didn't want to do that, but this, I was cutting the movie. I was like, that just feels like bullshit. I'm gonna make them sit there and decide how they feel, because it flip-flops all the time. Like, you're sitting there feeling good or about Cheyenne. You're like, well, at least there's one of these monsters that wants to just get the babies out of there. And then she drops like the Zionist media line, and everyone goes, oh, fuck it, let her die. So much so that when she gets shot, everyone goes, until we shoot Kyle. And I'm like, hey, not fair. But by that point, you're kind of getting used to it. We don't leave you with anybody too long. Like, we take away Michael Angarano real quick, and then like even something like Kevin Pollak is just designed to be unsettling. Like Kevin Pollak hits the screen, you're like, oh my God, it's the littlest suspect. We're safe with him. And he's together with little and they're cracking jokes. A big guy, a little guy. They're a comedy team. They're gonna ride us right into the credits.